Well, it's such an important occasion because it marks the courage of the soldiers that went in, the commitment of the nation, the leadership of former President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was the commanding general who took it all on his shoulders. It could have failed. It almost didn't come off because of the weather. There was fierce resistance on the beach. We took the greatest casualty there at Omaha Beach and those scenes that are showing right now, and yet we did it. And I think the real challenge is to our generation. This was the greatest generation. They didn't ask for it, but it came to them. They lived up to the calling of democracy, and they fought for our country and for our allies and for freedom. That same challenge is facing us today, and that's what President Biden outlined.
Yeah, it was such a different time, and you spoke about General Dwight D. Eisenhower, and he sent a letter to the U.S. forces in the lead up to this invasion of Normandy. In it, he wrote, quote, "You are about to embark upon the Great Crusade, toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hope and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than victory." I mean, those are just powerful words right there. What was going through the mind of these service members as they were about to take part in this historic fight, this historic moment in time?
I think every one of them had maybe a little different approach. Some of them were anxious. Some of them under stress, they fall asleep. So I can just imagine the men waiting to jump in those gliders. I know what it's like to be suited up and wait. They didn't know what was happening when they jumped in. The men on the ships, some of them had been seasick. They'd been on those ships for a day. They didn't know when they got on the ship when they were going in or even if they were going in. They couldn't see what was on the beach. The landing craft let them off, sometimes in water over their head. Some men drowned. With the heavy equipment on, they couldn't get to shore. Others were shot as they got out of the landing craft. It was pandemonium on the beach, but when you're under fire like that, training kicks in. And these men were well trained. They'd practiced it. It had been rehearsed in England, so they knew what they had to do. And under fire, they showed exemplary courage, and they did it.
They really did. You think about the age, too. I'm sure many of them were very young at that time, leaving their families in the United States, traveling overseas, and then embarking into an unknown land for many, as you can imagine, obviously an unknown circumstance. Just incredible determination. As you mentioned, General, we heard from President Biden, and he spoke about the importance of fighting for freedom and democracy. Here's part of the president's speech.
The men who fought here became heroes, not because they were the strongest or toughest or most fiercest, although they were, but because they were given an audacious mission, knowing, every one of them knew, the probability of dying was real. But they did it anyway. They knew, beyond any doubt, there are things that are worth fighting and dying for. Freedom is worth it. Democracy is worth it. America's worth it. The world is worth it. Then, now, and always.
And he went on, General, to discuss the ongoing war in Ukraine against Russia. Just wanted to get your thoughts about how the president phrased the ongoing battle of the Ukrainians.
Well, I think the Ukrainians have shown incredible courage and resilience in the face of the Russian onslaught. And I think the president is strongly supporting the Ukrainians. He wants to stay with it. He wants to see Russia so it can't do this ever again. He wants to see Ukraine whole and free. And that's what he said. He's moved carefully at this. We don't want a nuclear confrontation with Mr. Putin, but Mr. Putin has to learn his lesson. Aggression can't pay. It can't be rewarded.